this year we've pitched very well late in games. I think, there's multiple ways to win games, and last night was, we had a little bit of everything, I think, to get that win. So that's good to see. I mean, we've talked about we're going to have to get contributions from all parts of the roster, and in that winning streak, I thought we really did, and that's what leads to winning on a nightly basis, I think, is contributions all around your roster in a kind of different way. So we got that at the end of the game last night.
Last night, Yoeli Chassin turned in his second quality start of the season, giving up just one run to the Pirates. And what Craig Counsell says was arguably his best start of the season. They hand the ball now to Chase Anderson. We know the bullpen has been fantastic, and they're coming up with those clutch hits. So as we go up to Matt LePay and Bill Schroeder, guys, it's been a pretty good recipe for success here for the Brewers.
Yeah, it really has. Good pitching, and last night winning without the benefit of a home run, which was good as well. And Brock, I know somebody's smiling looking at the Brewers right now, and that's our great friend Davey Nelson. We lost him a couple of weeks ago, and this is the first homestand that fans here at the ballpark will have a chance to honor Davey. Well, the best of the best. I mean, every time the Brewers play, whoever the opponent is, somebody from that organization will offer condolences. Everybody knew Davey Nelson.
Yeah, you can't celebrate, the life of a guy like Davey Nelson enough. I mean, over and over again, you hear from different people and players about Davey. He had a big heart, a great attitude. He impacted so many aspects of this Brewer organization, from the front office. Fans loved him all over the world and in Wisconsin. And he had a unique ability to really get to the players, along the years that he was here. 2001 was his first year here, and again, he had that special relationship with just about everybody, and he had a way of making everybody feel important. When you talk to Davey, you felt important, and that is a special gift.
Let's turn it over now to public address announcer Rob Edwards.
As we share a tribute to his life.
Davey Nelson had a life built around baseball. One of 4 boys who took to the diamonds early. Davey was a speedy infielder who signed with the Cleveland Indians in 1964. 4 years later, he made his major league debut. Nelson's 10-year major league career had stops in Cleveland, Washington, Texas, and Kansas City. Among many highlights was his 1972 season when he stole 51 bases. He was an all-star a year later. He retired after the 1977 season, but never left the game. For the next 25 years, he served various roles in baseball, and for the last 12 years, he's also been an analyst on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Davey was always one of the most popular players in the game. He used that in his celebrity golf tournament to raise money for Open Arms Home for Children, a nonprofit organization that provides homes to orphan children affected by the AIDS pandemic in South Africa. He was also involved in kids' baseball clinics and enjoyed teaching the game he loved to the next generations. His positive outlook, infectious trademark laugh, and love for having fun made for many memorable moments over the years.
Who's driving? I'm driving. I thought I was driving. No, I want to drive.
We will miss Davey's whimsical ways, his laughter, and knowledge. But most of all, we'll miss just having him around the ballpark. David Earl Nelson was 73.
The impact Davey had on the lives of so many, and the countless relationships he built along the way, leave an incredible legacy. Please join your Milwaukee Brewers in a moment of silence now as we remember our friend Davey Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and turn your attention to the outfield, where our nation's flag is presented today by the American Legion post number 234, color guard. Your Milwaukee Brewers are joining the War Memorial Center in their effort to honor the dead and serve the living. Today's flag is raised in honor of Specialist Third Class Ib Kildegard, who served in the United States Army from 1953 to 1961. Members of the Kildegard family join us on the field today as we remember veterans and their service to our country. Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your caps, and military personnel and veterans of military service, please render a hand salute. Then sing along as we honor America with our national anthem, led by the Port Washington High School Concert Choir under the direction of Dennis Gephardt.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Okay.
I thought it was great, man. Covering the anthem is good.
In bright sunshine in Milwaukee is Chase Anderson and the Milwaukee Brewers looking for a series win this afternoon against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Buccos winning on Friday night. Brewers a 2-run winner last night. Clint Hurdle's team now 18-16, and it has fared well against NL Central Division opponents. Even with last night's loss, they are 9-3 against teams in their own division as these two clubs get set to wrap up their first series against one another here in 2018. Let's check out the Pittsburgh lineup, and it looks very familiar 1 through 8. This is how it's been throughout the series. Adam Frazier, Gregory Polanco, and Starling Marte. Josh Bell, Corey Dickerson, and Francisco Cervelli in the middle. Colin Moran hits 7th. Jordy Mercer 8th. Chad Kuhl on the mound. He bats 9th, and that's the order that will face Chase Anderson.
Yeah, Chase very good so far this year. 3-2 at .338 earned run average. He's been very good against the Pirates. 6-2 in his career, 11 starts. 3-0 last year against Pittsburgh. And looking for yet another series win for the Brewers. It would be 5 of the last 6. That'd be a good run. Well, let's check out the Brewers defense behind Chase here today. Got Yelich, Kane, Santana in the outfield. Shaw, RC on the left. Sogard, Braun on the right. Ryan Braun back in the starting lineup. And Jet Bandy getting a start behind home plate.
And your umpire crew here today. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, over at third here for this series wrap up. Marvin Hudson calls balls and strikes. James Hoy, Quinn Wolcott round out the umpire crew here this afternoon as we are set to go. The Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates on a beautiful sunshine splashed spring day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as Anderson rocks and fires, and we are underway at Miller Park. Chase with that 3-2 record. It was a bumpy ride for him in his last outing against the Reds, but and this might start bumpy today. A fly ball hit back in a deep right field, and that is gone. And Adam Frazier wasting no time getting the Pirates on the board.
Well, Chase Anderson has had one issue this year. It's allowing home runs. The 9th he's allowed so far this year. Solo shots aren't going to hurt you too badly. Fastball command was an issue for him against Cincinnati, although he did get a win. And that one middle in, and Frazier knocks it out of here.
Yeah, as I was about to say before Frazier rudely interrupted, it's good to say you had a bumpy outing in a game that you did get the winning decision. This is a matchup of two pitchers who have been vulnerable to the big fly, and there's Polanco getting into one. If that's going to twist foul. As with the roof open, ball might be jumping a little bit here this afternoon, but it's something to watch, not just with Chase, but with Chad Kuhl as well.
Yeah, you know, roof open, glass panels closed. Interesting configuration today.
And it's 2 strikes and nothing. There's Polanco making some pretty good contact here. Barty, the first base coach, getting the greeting from Polanco.
That's a good wake-up call.
Yeah, absolutely. Pirates on Friday night got a 2-run win that snapped an 8-game road losing streak. It was a good ball game last night. The Brewers with 2 runs in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th, as Polanco goes down swinging, and there's your first out of the day.
Well, the low fastball wasn't getting it done, so what do? Elevate out of the strike zone. 92 for Chase. Chase has been rushing it up there as high as 94 this year.
Saw that velocity go up beginning last year. A pretty vigorous off-season workout program for Anderson. It turned into a very good year for him. He's been very good with this ball club for a couple of years now, as he faces Starling Marte, who has put together a good series, and he has very good numbers against Chase Anderson. 10 for 19, in fact.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, that includes a home run, which is, he's hit 12 in his career against the Brewers, including 2 in this series. This is not a home run hitter. He's hit 70 in his career, but he has fared extremely well against Milwaukee pitching. This has popped up. Eric Sogard, the second baseman today, for out number 2.
Yeah, Eric Sogard getting 3 consecutive starts. Great counts once he gets that bat going. First game of the series, he started at short. Last 2 days, second base.
Hitting into some tough luck. It's just been a rough first 5 weeks for Sogard. However, he worked a couple of walks last night, and it was no small thing in those rallies in the 7th and 8th innings. Here's Josh Bell. First baseman was 0 for 3 last night with a walk. Talking in this series, been a tough start. Bell, first half dozen games were good, and trying to find that stroke pretty much ever since. Has driven in 16 runs. After today, the Brewers are off on Monday, and then the Cleveland Indians come to town for a matchup Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon, and then the Brewers go right back on the road in another 3-city trip. The changeup evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A good pitch. 2-seam fastball, just missing the edge. This Pirate team can swing the bats. That's not been their issue when they've been losing. Just misses the outside corner.
3-2 pitch. Yeah, but the Pirates a little bit all or nothing on the road, and that's changed. They were held to 3 runs last night, but they put 6 on the board for Clint Hurdle on Friday. Got off to a great start away from PNC. Slumped. They've been a streaky team through the first 5 weeks. And Bell works a walk. Anderson missing with the changeup, so Josh Bell, the 2-out runner.
Well, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. You ready for Pizza Ranch?
I'm ready to go.
No home runs. Well, we can't talk about that. He's already given up 1. Chase has allowed 9 home runs. He's had good success against the Pirates. We talked about that. 3-0 in his career. And it's time to get hot. Orlando Arcia is starting to swing the bat much better, and he's done very well against Chad Kuhl, 5 for 10 in his career. But Kuhl 5-0 with the Pirates when Chad Kuhl starts against the Brewers.
Yeah, it's a matchup of pitchers who have fared well against their opponents. As Corey Dickerson steps to the plate. You feeling better, by the way? You were a gamer last night.
A little bit, a little scratchy, but it doesn't hurt at least.
There you go. That's good.
On the road to recovery.
You feel better than the throat might suggest.
Right? How about you?
So I'm hanging in. I'm all right.
I mean, the whole booth has got something going on.
I know. We blame Chicago.
Wrigley Field.
Yep.
Yep.
Doctor told me that. Stay out of there.
Yeah. Good idea.
0-1 pitch to Corey Dickerson. A rare quiet night for Dickerson last night. Took an 0 for 4. You see the batting average. He is off to a very good start. Left fielder with Dickerson and Marte and Polanco. A pretty good outfield, even with Andrew McCutchen now, a San Francisco Giant. Mentioned in this series, Dickerson fares well in this ballpark. A lot of extra base hits for him against Milwaukee. But 0 for 4 in last night's game. He's driven in 22 to go with his 5 home runs. And 3 balls, 1 strike now.
Really trying to establish that outside corner. And basically in this inning, 2-seamer changeup for Chase.
Leadoff home run from Adam Frazier. A 2-out walk to Josh Bell. The Pirates get on the board first this afternoon. 3-1 on the way. Just fouled first. Former Tampa Bay Ray, Corey Dickerson. Couple of big years with the Rays. All-Star season last year. Hit 27 homers, 24 the year before. Came over to the Pirates at the beginning of spring training. 3-2 pitch, and there's a base hit to left center. Josh Bell, who is running, of course, the full count. They're waving him around. Here's the relay from Arcia, and that's going to be offline, and backing up is Anderson. And the Pirates with the early jump. Run scoring knock from Dickerson. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 3-2, 2 outs. Bell running on the pitch. Able to score on the double. He finds a gap out in left center. Boy, Dickerson has been swinging a good bat this year. And by the time Kane gets it in, too late to get Bell. 2-0.
I mentioned the Pirates can swing the bat a little bit. Third in the National League in batting average. Also third in runs per game. Pitching a little bit up and down. We saw the Pirates bullpen effective on Friday night. Brewers got to it last night. And here's Francisco Cervelli behind the plate. Day game after a night game. There's a curveball that missed.
Yeah, he started all 3 games in the series.
Swinging a hot bat. It was cooled off last night. And then very nearly got himself tossed from the game late last night, arguing balls and strikes. Clint Hurdle protecting him, and Cervelli got a little bit of leeway.
Arguing a called strike 2. Did not argue strike 3. It was strike 2 that he was upset about.
He has been an effective hitter. Elias Diaz, who backs him up, also has been good when he has been in the lineup. So a couple of good options offensively for Hurdle as he makes out the lineup card. Same 1 through 8 as he has had throughout this series. His home runs matching his output last year for the Pirates. Been with this Pittsburgh organization for now 3+ years. First year was in 2015. A very good year for him at the plate. Chase is needing to work here to get through this first inning. Already 26 pitches.
He's been falling behind, but it hasn't been missing by much. Just enough.
Balls and strikes split right down the middle. Corey Dickerson with a run scoring double. He's the base runner now for the Pirates. The 3-1 into left field. That is caught by Christian Yelich. Hangs up there for Yelich to secure. And that'll do it for the Pirates. They pick up a couple of runs. Brewers coming up. Brewers now come calling in the home half of inning number 1. And here is the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, and Ryan Braun. Brawny back in the lineup today. Travis Shaw hits cleanup. Domingo Santana, Eric Sogard, Orlando Arcia. Jet Bandy hits 8th. He's behind the plate. Chase Anderson rounds out the Brewers batting order against the Pirates starter today, Chad Kuhl.
Yeah, Kuhl in his 3rd year with the Pirates, 25 years old. out of Newark, Delaware, 9th rounder back in 2013. He got beat his last time out at Washington, 4 2/3, 6 runs, 4 of them earned. He's 2-0 in 5 career starts against the Brewers, and as we mentioned, every one of his 5 starts against the Brewers in his career, the Pirates have turned out winners.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, a good ERA along the way. So Chase has fared well against the Pirates, cool against the Brewers. You mentioned both have been vulnerable to giving up the home run. We'll see what gives here this afternoon. Pirates already with a long ball. Adam Frazier leading off the game, and then a run-scoring double from Corey Dickerson getting things started for Pittsburgh. Lorenzo Cain leads things off. He did last night what he has done quite a bit in this series, get on base multiple times. Kept it quiet on Friday, but he reached 3 times last night, a couple of hits and a walk.
He's done a nice job in that leadoff spot.
On base percentage of .390. He's taken a lot of walks, 22 of them in fact. School pops it in there at 95. Hard throwing.
Fastball, slider. He'll throw in a changeup every now and again to a lefty.
Cool last year was 8-11, 31 starts, and the innings pitched 157 1/3, the most he has had in professional ball. And a full count now to Lorenzo Cain. Cain, Yelich, and Braun here in the first inning for Milwaukee. In the air to right. Room for Polanco. Out number 1.
Check out the Pirates defensively. Dickerson, Marte, Polanco, same outfield, same infield the entire series. Moran, Mercer, Frazier, Bell, 3rd to 1st, and Francisco Cervelli hanging the signs again today. Your Pirates defense.
Here's Christian Yelich. Brewers left fielder enters the day with a 6-game hitting streak. And he has some pretty good numbers in that streak. 9 for 25. Driven in a couple of runs. Came through last night with an RBI knock. Having the chance to see him every day now, you just appreciate everything he does. He just doesn't seem to have a weakness.
Doesn't make mistakes.
He doesn't.
You know, he gives you good at bat. Very good base runner. No matter where you put him in the outfield, he's going to do a good job out there. That's why the Brewers wanted him so badly.
It's one of those you would see from a distance. The 2 series that Brewers would play with the Marlins, thinking, well, this guy's pretty good. Know about Giancarlo Stanton, and you learn more about Ozuna, Marcell Ozuna at the time. But boy, this guy, the way we talked about it a lot, the way he runs the bases, works at bats, couple of hits last night, impressive. 2-2 pitch coming.
And likes to be in that lineup every day. He and Cain both.
Yeah, he was not the happiest of campers when he had to go on the 10-day DL. Been a few years since he's gone on the disabled list with the oblique injury. But then just a matter of a few days upon his return was back into the rhythm at the plate, and a hard comebacker. Nice stab by Chad Kuhl. 2 up, 2 down in the first. Kuhl now will deal with this guy, Ryan Braun, the big blow of the game in the 8th inning.
Yep, hanging slider. Contos threw too many of those hangers. Braun missed a couple of them, didn't miss the last one. That's all the Brewers would need.
Braun off the bench each of the last 2 nights. Struck out on Friday, struck out his first at bat last night, and it seemed like he was having a world of trouble making hard contact. But when he needed to most, he did. And it's Mentioned he struggled the first few weeks of the season. He's been picking it up a bit of late. And you see the 19 RBIs. He has had 5 games where he has had the game-winning RBIs. So he has delivered when it has mattered the most.
Yeah, clutch. Does that surprise anybody?
No, I would think not.
It's kind of been a career of clutch at bats.
A ball, a strike. And when men are on base with 2 outs, especially in scoring position, that's where Braun is almost impossible to get out. You saw the series in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, look at the OPS. I mean, you're not talking about, bloopers into the outfield. We're talking about some big-time power.
That OPS will that'll turn your head.
Yeah, worthy of a check mark.
Right. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty here for Milwaukee. Well, you hear the description in sports, those with the clutch gene. This guy has it. Where he ranks in a number of categories offensively for the Brewers, and back at first base today, he's fared pretty well over there. His first regular season games this year, first 2 games in San Diego, win a stretch where he didn't play, and then return there in Chicago. He handles it well.
Yeah, I talked to him a few days ago, and he said he really is starting to feel comfortable over there. A big departure out at how he felt in spring training.
A strikeout from Cool here to end the inning. A changeup takes care of Braun. A 1-2-3 start for Chad Cool. Pirates the early lead.
And today's giveaway includes a coupon from Pastime store.
And the Brewers will take on Francisco Lindor. The Cleveland Indians 2-game interleague series at Miller Park this Tuesday and Wednesday. To view the full series schedule, which includes half-price tickets for kids and seniors on Wednesday, visit brewers.com/tickets. Got you covered, Rock.
I tell you, it sounds much better when you do it.
I'm still not getting tapped into the game, though.
No.
No, okay.
No. Can't do
I
it.
keep asking. Well, the worst you can, do is say no. And you're saying no.
I don't think you're ready yet. Maybe
No,
you can
probably
know
not.
a couple years.
Yeah, okay.
Throw you one.
Got to earn that right. I understand.
Right.
Colin Moran leading off here for the Pirates. A little bloop that Sogard will have covered for out number 1. I mentioned a little bit ago that Chase Anderson has had struggles in the first innings of games this season. And it's been the case. His ERA now, with the Pirates putting up a couple here today. His first inning ERA is 7.88. The rest of the way, 2.73.
Yeah, until he gets that command back, right? I mean, a lot of times pitchers like Anderson, control pitchers, take a while to settle in, get that good location. He's one of those guys, if you don't get him early, you don't get him at all.
A couple of outings ago against the Cubs, 7 strong innings. Gave up 1 hit. That 1 hit was the difference in the game, the Kyle Schwarber homer, but has been very, very aggressive and consistent. Consistent would be the better word. A very consistent pitcher for this ball club now for the last couple of years. Here's Mercer. He drills one deep to left field, and that is out of here. Jordy Mercer, who was 0 for his first 8 in the series, goes deep for the first time this year, and it's a 3-0 lead for the Pirates.
Yeah, fastball in. Following up a curveball for a strike. Let's check it out. 4-seamer. Left it out over the plate just enough. Mercer able to get the barrel of the bat on it, and that was a no doubt home run to left. Hit that one well. 3-0 Pirates.
There's Chad Kuhl. Came in last night as a pinch runner. He is 1 for 7 at the plate this season. Scored a couple of runs. And his team has spotted him this early lead today. Two-0 pitch. Chase trying to settle it down. Record of 20-7 with a 2.80 ERA going back to the middle of the 2016 season. The curveball that is hit in the air toward Domingo Santana. That's out number 2.
Yeah, you go back to the second half of 2016. There haven't been too many that have been better than Anderson. One thing he's had a difficult time with this year, if anything, has been giving up the home run ball. Now 10.
His counterpart today has allowed 7. There you see the list. There's Tyler Mahle and Bailey in that bandbox in Cincinnati. Even Strasburg will give up his share. Adam Frazier homered to begin the game. That was his first career leadoff home run. He was at the top of the order for more than a third of the season last year for the Pirates. Josh Harrison working his way back from the hand injury. Here's how Frazier started the game here against Chase Anderson.
Fastball, and you can see he got under it. Knocked it out of here. 371 feet. You don't have to hit him too far to get him out of here down the lines.
Two balls, one strike. .26 years old is Frazier. Played his college ball at Mississippi State. And the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here is the 2-2. Two in the first for the Pirates. A solo home run from Jordy Mercer here in the second. Payoff pitch. Frazier had a lot of playing time last year. We mentioned he had all the starts at the top of the order, some 63 times he was at the top of Clint Hurdle's order. Had a great spring training last year, hit better than 400. Earned his opportunity as a curveball from Anderson misses, and Frazier is on with a 2-out walk.
He's not a guy that strikes out a lot. You don't expect a lot of home runs out of him, but he hits the ball where it's pitched. We saw that in yesterday's game. Base hit to left. Chase is scuffling with the off-speed stuff, the curveball changeup.
And to battle to get through the 5 1/3 in Cincinnati 5 days ago. And a battle here early on this afternoon as he faces Gregory Polanco. Frazier not a big running threat. Has yet to steal a base. Been caught a couple of times this year. Polanco 1 for 2, walked a couple of times last night. He's gone deep against Anderson 3 times in his career. Came in 5 for 25 against him. Struck out today. His first trip to the plate.
Yeah, got him on a pitch out of the zone, up and out of the zone, and yeah, Polanco a very good low ball hitter. You want to attack him up in the zone with good hard fastballs.
Pitch count approaching 50 here, and we're just in the second inning. Brewers bullpen got the job done last night. Jeffress did his thing. Hader got touched up, gave up a 2-run homer to Starling Marte, so a blown save, but it turned into a win for Hader as the Brewers, with Ryan Braun's 2-run double, broke the tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. One pitch.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, up in the zone. That one up and in.
Frazier is the runner at first. Here's the 1-2. Inning over as he gets Polanco swinging for the second time in as many innings. Pirates put another run on the board. A Jordy Mercer solo shot through an inning and 1/2. Pirates leading the Crew 3-0.
inning. And Craig Counsell often says that you need contributions from all over the roster to win games like the Brewers often have in their last at-bat. Now a major league leading 7 for them on the season with last night's win. But he said one part that's key is just the quality of their at-bats, and especially the patience with the walks in the late innings. Of the 6 walks that they drew last night, 4 of them came in the 7th and the 8th inning in that rally. And he said, especially against these major league bullpens, he says it is tough to string together consecutive hits or to put together a rally late in the game. So he said those free passes and those walks have been there and something that they've been able to take advantage of. He says, obviously it takes good pitching, good defense, but those walks certainly a factor as well.
Yeah, it's good to see him win a game where they didn't hit a home run.
Right.
But
in 2 of those walks that came around to score, the 8th spot in the batting order, Eric Sogard, a guy that's really having a tough time getting hits, but contributing last night with the base on balls, coming around to score 2 different times.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing that could get him going. We talked about he's had some games where he's hit into some tough luck, and other games just haven't been able to make a lot of good contact as Travis Shaw leads off here in inning number 2 for the Brewers. This is hit in the air to shallow center field. That's Jordy Mercer for out number 1.
And the old adage, a coach will tell you, what are you doing for me when you're not getting hits? Right? I mean, you're playing good defense. Are you giving me a good at bat? What are you doing to help me win a game and to keep you in the lineup? And that's what Eric Sogard, he's the kind of guy that will do that.
Yeah, it certainly mattered. A part of those rallies last night. He is the on deck hitter now with 1 out in the 2nd inning. As Domingo Santana steps to the plate. Santana continuing to show some positive signs. Couple of hits last night. He's now 7 for his last 16. Included on Friday night his first home run of the year.
And breaking ball smoked it, got the Brewers right back in that game.
Powerball home run count number 1 on the season for Santana. He had 30 of them last year. But in the course of him warming up right now, he's been, in addition to the home run, he's had a couple doubles, extra base hits, few and far between, and he's going to drop one into right center field here, a base hit. So he continues to swing a good bat.
Yeah, and for him, that's where it all starts. Opposite field. I mean, give me a hitter that doesn't start a hot streak. You're going to the opposite field. That means you're staying on the baseball. You're not starting that bat too soon. I mean, that was 89, a cutter. A lot of times the guy will try and pull that one to hit it in the seats, but it stays back and dumps it into right.
First hit of the day for the Brew Crew. Had 9 hits in each of the first 2 games of the series, and here is Sogard. Six hits on the year. He has driven in a run. Count is even, a ball, a strike.
Yeah, Craig Counsell is giving Sogard every opportunity to get it going here. 3 consecutive starts.
He'd gone about a week without being in the lineup. Part of his production last year, though, he drew his share of walks in 94 games. He was a good on-base guy for the Brewers. In fact, his on-base percentage was .393. And about a third of the season, much of that in the first half, prior to the All-Star break, he was at the top of the order. Very good on-base percentage relative to the spot in the order, well above the league average. The 1-2. Frazier flips to Mercer for 1, and that's a double play for 6-3, and that ends the inning for Milwaukee. We're through 2 at Miller Park. Pirates 3-0. by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. 3-0 Pirates as we move to the third inning at Miller Park, and Starling Marte trying to bunt his way on. He's homered in each of the first 2 games, a 2-run inside the park homer on Friday night. And he took Josh Hader the other way. 2-run shot in the 8th inning last night that tied the game, albeit briefly.
Yeah, that was a frozen rope to right. I mean, he was ahead in the count. Hader fell behind, and he hit a bullet and got out of the ballpark quickly.
Marte now with 5 homers on the season. We go back to Friday, and we had the favorable bounce for the nuances here at Miller Park, and ball rolled into no man's land, and there was no drama as Marte easily circled the bases. Marte not chasing there, 1-2.
It was only the 5th hit allowed by Hader this season. 5 hits, 2 of them home runs. Tommy Pham took him deep back in St. Louis. But he did pick up the win.
And struck out 4 along the way in 2 innings of work. Yet another appearance for Hader with at least 3 strikeouts. Marte with a fly ball out to Domingo Santana. First out of the inning. This is about the time that he settles in. See if that's the case here today. It's 3, 4, and 5 of the Pirates batting order here as Marte is retired. And now the cleanup hitter Josh Bell. Following that walk, he scored on the Corey Dickerson double. There's a 1-strike pitch. And this is popped up. Orlando Arcia will take charge. 2 up, 2 down. Our future is here, and now's the time to own it. The new home of the Milwaukee Bucks opens next season, but now's the time to lock in your seats. Season ticket packages for the 2018-19 season are on sale now, so purchase yours today at foxsportswisconsin.com/events. Two outs, bases empty here for the Pirates in the third inning. Chase looking to set them down in order for what would be the first time today. Corey Dickerson at the plate. Last night the bats picked up the bullpen a little bit. See if they can pick up Chase Anderson this afternoon.
And Chase starting to get a little bit better feel for the off speed.
Dickerson waving at that first pitch. Here's the 0-1. This with the changeup.
That's a pitch right there that he needs to get some swings. You know, weak contact or swing and miss. Well, he hasn't been able to get much of that so far on the changeup.
3 runs, 3 hits for the Pirates. Couple of homers and a double. Carry into the seats. Another good crowd here at Miller Park. It's nice to be repetitive on a topic like that.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Yeah, it's something that I think it's safe to say the organization does not take for granted.
No. As we go around the league, we see, you know, crowds that, you know, we don't see in Milwaukee.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, here we do see crowds. Some other places, yeah, a lot of seats available, we'll put it that way. Fans taking advantage of the good weather, but obviously here, even when it's not so good, you know there will be baseball. But exceptional tailgating weather this weekend.
Beautiful. And they got the lightweight hoodie today.
They do. Good day for it if you're in the shade. 61 degrees at first pitch.
Did you get you one of those?
I did, as a matter of fact, courtesy of you. Our demo that we were putting on display last night. So thank you very much.
Courtesy of me?
It was my favorite. It was free.
Yeah. There's more back there.
Is that right? I'll take 3. Full count to Dickerson. I didn't know if you were giving it to me or just throwing it at me, but I took it. Never turned down a gift.
It's the kind of guy I am.
You are.
Always giving.
Yep. Kind of a Santa Claus all year round kind of guy.
Giving what, I'm not sure, but.
See, just perfect. You're in the shade. You put that on. You have no worries.
Perfect.
She is good to go. There's a fly ball to Yelich in left. He has room, and Chase Anderson has a 1-2-3 third inning. He's settling down. Let's see if the Brewers' bats can come alive.
On the West Coast to tell you about, we start with Arizona. It was A.J. Pollock with the bases loaded, coming up with the single for the 4-3 win for the Diamondbacks over the Astros. And then we go out to Seattle, Safeco Field. And this was a look at Ryan Healy with the walk-off single. The Mariners had a rally in the 8th and the 10th before to even get it there to the 11th, so a wild game there. That way went 4.5 hours. And for the Oakland A's, our old friend, designated hitter Chris Davis in the 12th, a 2-run shot to walk it off for the A's. That was a 2-0 game. 2-0 win for the A's. So good to see Chris Davis having a cool moment there.
Boy, he's had a lot of them, Sophia and Rock. He has been raking in his time with the Oakland A's.
Yeah, good for him. Good guy.
Yeah, low key, well. Right?
Yeah. Chill. They call him chill.
That's right. But he can hit the baseball a long ways. He's been doing that in Oakland. Is Orlando Arcia with a pop-up. Adam Frazier will call for it and give way instead, wisely so, to Polanco for out number 1. And Miller Park's diamond will transform into a soccer pitch on Wednesday, July 11th, when U.S. soccer legend Landon Donovan leads Club Leon against CF Pachuca. Secure your tickets to see some of the world's premier soccer players by visiting Brewers.com/soccer.
Who you got on that?
Give me that card again.
We're going to be in Miami, so.
We are? Okay. Whoever Landon Donovan is with there, I'm all about that.
There you go.
What about you?
Same. I tell you, soccer has been unbelievably popular these days.
It's fun. You know what's fun is to watch the fans.
Yeah.
When you get into this, and if it's this, World Cup, and it is, it's fun to watch the passion of the fans of the world's most popular sport, right? I mean, it's just something else.
And it's catching on over here.
It is. It absolutely is. It will be here at Miller Park. Two balls, two strikes to Jed Bandy. Jet getting the call behind the plate today. Manny Pena working the first two games here this series. Bandy a strikeout, and Chad Kuhl is looking pretty impressive the first time through the batting order. He's allowed just one hit so far, 2 outs in the third.
Yeah, continues his success against Milwaukee. Something about the Brewers, right? 2-0 in his career, 5 starts.
Yeah. All Pirates wins. Chase has fared well against the Pirates, though. 6-2 in his career, 3-0 last year. And here is Chase Anderson. The one hit for Chase was on opening day in San Diego. Scored a run and had a faceplant in the process. A little scary at the time, but he was fine. Nothing like a player getting dinged up as you would be. We're visiting with general manager David Stearns.
Right.
But it was all good. Ball, 2 strikes.
Last thing the Brewers need is another pitcher to get hurt, not pitching. Either running the bases or getting back to a base.
Yeah, Chase had that issue swinging the bat last year. The oblique. Of course, Jimmy Nelson. Rock's referring to trying to get back to the base, taking a turn at Wrigley Field. Junior Guerra. Opening day. He's running up the first base line. They got it all out of their system, Hope, last year. Anytime a pitcher gets hurt, swinging the bat or running the bases, it brings up the annual when's the National League going to get the DH.
Yeah.
Anderson a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chad Kuhl as he gets through the order, allowing just one hit. 3-0 Pirates through 3. Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Pepsi, this is the Pepsi for your crew. Top of the fourth on a sunny Sunday afternoon at the ballpark. 3-0 Pirates leading Chase Anderson and the Brew Crew, although Chase did get through Pittsburgh in order in the third, so maybe he's settling in.
Well, you figure this Brewers offense is going to get going at some point, so just keep putting up zeros. Let the offense get going.
This team has a confidence about it. If it falls behind early, they know that they can get those big bats going, and they fared well here at Miller Park. They've won 7 of their last 8 now, have the Brewers. Francisco Cervelli lined out to Yelich to win the first inning. Cervelli, Colin Moran, and Jordy Mercer. There's a curve. Lands in there for Anderson for strike 1.
Going to be a bit of a challenge right now, swinging the bat with the shadows. Cutting right across the pitcher's mound.
Curveball will be fouled out of play.
Other times it's difficult to pick up spin when it's in and out of the shadows as it gets to home plate. Starts in the shade in the sun. The challenge is when you have sun, shadows, sun, or
right,
vice versa. It goes in and out.
2 strikes and nothing to the Pirates catcher. And that is a called third strike, and out number 1 in the 4th.
Perfect pitch. He's been trying to find those corners all day. Finally able to catch the edge. They had to get Cervelli looking, probably looking away. Maybe something off speed away. Caught him looking inside.
Cervelli holds his temper there, although he was surprised by the call. Here's Colin Moran. Former Houston Astro. Handful of games with the Astros. Oh, and 1 the count. A name to keep in mind with the Pirates. Talk about third baseman Jung Ho Kang.
Yeah.
Recently issued a work visa to get back into the United States. He's at their complex, the Pirates complex in Bradenton, Florida, here for probably throughout the month of May. There's a ground ball. The charge is Travis Shaw. Tough play. Shaw made it. Well done. 2 men out.
And a good pick by Braun. Yeah, had to barehand it. He had some time. Moran, not the fastest guy in the world. And able to pick it over there is Ryan Braun. Good play.
2 up, 2 down. For a time, Kang was unable to get into the United States because of a DUI arrest in his native South Korea. That was back in December of 2016.
Yeah, it's been a while for him, huh?
It has, and he's a guy who gave the Pirates some pretty good offense a couple of years ago. Was get you 20, 21 home runs. Monster year, his final year in the Korean baseball organization. He came over with a certain level of fanfare. He's trying to work his way back into shape. So a name moving forward, probably not this month. They're just trying to get him into game shape. There'll be a little more pop in the bat, pop in the lineup here for the Pirates.
Might be getting him back and Josh Harrison around the same time.
That's right. To a team that's already a little better than many expected. Gonna add a couple of pieces. Jordy Mercer hit his first homer of the season. It's in the 2nd inning. On the ground to Arcia, and Chase Anderson has back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. He's hanging up a couple of zeros now. Brew Crew will have the top of the order. Kane, Yelich, And Ryan Braun as the Brewers come calling in the home half of the fourth. 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Nothing here in the fourth. And the summer slugger is here as the Brewers have partnered with digital learning innovator Everfeed to help prevent the summer slide in 3rd through 6th graders. All students are invited to participate in this online baseball-themed learning course that helps reinforce critical math and literacy skills. Students can earn points and receive progress-based rewards throughout the summer. You can visit summerslugger.com/brewers to learn more and sign up today.
Like a great program there. As we move on to the bottom of the fourth inning, as Lorenzo Cain will lead things off. Chad Kuhl, impressive the first time through the Milwaukee order, giving up a single to Domingo Santana, and that is it the first time through.
And wiped out by a double play. So he's faced the minimum.
Cain, a fly ball to right in the first inning. Been in there almost every day of this season for the Brewers.
And did not start the last game in Cincinnati. Craig Counts was planning on giving the day off, but he ended up pinch hitting late in the game. A couple of guys had to leave due to injury.
2 balls, 1 strike. And there's a bouncer over to Adam Frazier. That is out number 1. Well, Sophia Miller a little while ago was giving us some of the news of the day, or last night in baseball. Part of the storyline going on here in the last 24 hours or so too has been injuries to very familiar names. Clayton Kershaw on the 10-day DL, biceps tendonitis. Jacob deGrom is going to miss a start.
Yeah.
There's Christian Yelich. Yadier Molina is going to miss about a month. Had surgery. I'll just put it this way, he took a foul ball.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah, I saw that, and we're just watching it. I felt like I needed surgery.
Yes.
I mean, to get hit there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, too bad.
The ball, 2 strikes is Kuhl missing with the changeup there to Yelich. But yeah, those are the bigger stories on the injury front right now in baseball.
And that's the thing about that 10-day disabled list. You know, when you're a starting pitcher, just like Zach Davies, right? You go on the DL, you're retroactive, and you essentially miss 1 start. So it's worth it to put a guy on the DL.
It is. In the case of the Brewers, a couple of off days, Thursday and then tomorrow they can go with a 4-man rotation. On the field today, the Yankees were flirting with a combined no-hitter against Cleveland. Domingo Germán went 6 innings, gave up nothing, and not only did they end up losing a no-hitter, they're now losing in the game to the Indians 2-0. Dylan Betances gave up 3 hits, couple of runs. Yelich goes down swinging. 2 up, 2 down for the Brewers here in the 4th.
And Chad Kuhl 97 up at his own. He's really bringing it today. He's got good life with that fastball. Check it out. 97 up there, awfully hard to get a piece of.
That's that chocolate cake BA talks about.
Yeah. Looks good. Close to the eyes. You see it well. It's hard to lay off.
Not good for you. 2 outs. Base is empty for Ryan Braun. Big 2-run double last night was the difference in the game. Kuhl missed at 96, a ball, a strike. 25 years old. Have some good young pitchers here in this Pirates organization. Saul Jamison Tyone. Brewers will see some pretty good pitching when the Indians come in. Corey Kluber and Carlos Carrasco will be on the mound for the Tribe. They get in here Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, Kluber Cy Young Award winner last year.
And Braun looks at strike 3 and he knew it. 5 strikeouts now for Chad Kuhl as we are through 4. It's 3-0 Buccos.
Where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Top of the 5th at Miller Park. 3-0 Pittsburgh Pirates. Chase Anderson settling in after giving up 2 in the first and 1 in the second, facing Chad Kuhl. It's 9-1-2 for the Pirates. Anderson needed 49 pitches to get through the first 2 innings and just 24 to get through 3 and 4. He set down the last 7.
Well, he's had better command of off speed the last couple innings.
Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Chase. 0-2 pitch to Kuhl. Poole, Frazier, and Polanco here in the 5th inning for the Pirates. Curveball is bounced to Braun. He'll handle it himself, and that's out number 1. This summer, the World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live, more than 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. Who you got? I would ask you now.
Well, U.S. is not in it. They didn't make it, right?
I know.
Kind of a shock.
Still be tuning in, man. Here's Frazier trying to bunt his way on. Anderson, nice play. Bouncing off the mound. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th.
Boy, very nice. Well, he didn't have an opportunity to set himself and look at first. He instinctively knew where the bag was. Kind of just flipped it over there. Good throw. Yeah, well done. No chance for a bobble or to set himself, and he got him.
I tell you, field your position. Very well executed. It's 9 in a row now that Anderson has retired. He will face Gregory Polanco. He's the one guy Anderson has been able to handle so far. He has struck him out twice. Catches the corner there. This is more of the Chase Anderson we have seen here for a while. Changeup misses. Low average, but some run production. Polanco, a little bit of power again. To the 5 hits he has had against Anderson in 27 at bats. 3 of those hits left the ballpark. Here's the 1-2. In the air, shallow. Very shallow center field. It's Arcia putting it away in another 1-2-3 inning for Anderson. 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Out our Brewers minor league system on the UW Whitewater scouting report. A lot going on in AA. Biloxi, Adrian Hauser, good outing for him, 4 shutout innings. Boone Logan, Corey Knable, good appearances for them last night as well. Boone Logan, good progress for him. He went back-to-back. He'll now move on to AAA. He'll pitch Tuesday with them in Nashville. So he's getting close from that triceps injury. Corey Knable as well, good progress. He's scheduled to pitch again today in his first back-to-back appearance. And Man Rock, we have an update for you on Stephen Vogt as well. As we told you last night, he left the game last night after catching in the 6th inning. He suffered a setback with that right shoulder. So they're going to fly him back here to Milwaukee. He will see the team physician, Dr. Rosh, here tomorrow on Monday. And so Craig Counsell didn't want to speculate on the severity of the setback, but certainly we'll wait to see what the doctor says after he sees him tomorrow and to figure out what the next steps are for Vogt.
Yeah, you keep your fingers crossed there, Rock. I mean, you lived it behind the plate. You know, he worked so hard in the offseason as Travis Shaw hits a bouncer for out number 1. Bell to the covering Chad Kuhl.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he really worked hard on his throwing, and that was one of the things he really needed to improve upon. You know, throwing to the bases, throwing out base runners. He was really feeling good about, you know, how he was progressing in that until spring training. He hurt his shoulder in drills. And it felt like he was on his road to recovery until last night. That's too bad. I mean, he's a good guy to have around.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. We'll see what's next here for Stephen Vogt. It was, you know, interesting when he came over from Oakland. You read some of the quotes out of the A's clubhouse, and you get the impression that those guys didn't have to be asked. They just talked about the presence that Vogt brings to a ball club, not to mention the bat.
And he was doing that even while he was on a disabled list here this year. He would travel with the team, get his treatment, you know, go through his workouts, and you could just tell that, you know, he was the kind of a guy that kind of led. Guys followed him. A good guy to follow too. It's a solid human being.
Domingo Santana has the 1 hit for the Crew here today. A 2nd inning single to right center field. He's now 5 for 9 in this series. And Kuhl being plenty careful with him. 4-pitch walk. 1 out, 1 on here in inning number 5. First walk surrendered by the Pirates starter. His big league debut came against Clayton Kershaw and beat him a couple of years ago. Here's Eric Sogard. We've been saying for a while, let's see if he hits into some luck. Maybe this time we'll just not say anything.
Right. Well, this is the part of the order where Craig Counsell would like to get a little production. You know, get some guys swinging the bats better. Sogard, Arcia. Jet Bandy's been swinging it pretty well.
And Counsell last weekend, talking to reporters, mentioned a couple of positions where they need a little more punch. We'll see what the second baseman today has in store. Domingo Santana, the only Brewer to reach a single and now a walk a moment ago. He's the runner at first. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Sogard. Mike Vogt also over from the Oakland A's, of course. Got a piece.
Got to be some deception in that delivery for Chad Kuhl, because that fastball is pretty much down the middle. He's got a little bit of a cut to it, a sink every now and again, but Brewers are getting some pitches they hit. They're just not squaring them up.
A ball, 2 strikes. And that is strike 3 called. Upper part of the zone, out number 2.
Yeah, right at the top of the strike zone, inside corner. You get a good idea of what you're looking at. He does hide it pretty well. Kind of a high crossfire delivery and able to catch the inside corner. Yeah, he does hide it pretty well.
6 strikeouts for Chad Kuhl. Two out, Santana, the runner at first for Orlando Arcia. The fly ball to right. in the third inning. Had a tough at bat last night, tried to bunt his way on and fouled with 2 strikes. But in the 3 or so games leading up to last night, when he was not in the lineup, came in later in the game and showing some signs. And he came into this game 5 for 10 against Cool. Deepest he has gone in a game, 6 innings. That was twice against the Rockies and the Tigers. Both of those outings at PNC Park.
You hear Arcia screaming as that ball, he had to jump out of the way. He does that a lot.
He does. Coming in hot at 95. The 2-1.
Just in case it hit him.
That's right. There's a hitter's count right now, 3-1. And a little bouncer over to Mercer. And that'll do it for the Brewers here in inning number 5. Still just 1 hit for Milwaukee through 5 innings of play.
Park. Taking a look at what Max Scherzer did today, the showstopper in baseball. On the 20th anniversary of Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game, Max Scherzer came pretty close. 6 1/3 for him, gave up 5 hits, but more importantly, 15 strikeouts. 111 pitches for him, 71 of those were strikes. He will take a no decision as that game is tied at 1 with Philly in the 7th. But what a day for Max Scherzer. That is some tough stuff right there.
Yeah, it is. Remember that Kerry Wood outing too from 20 years ago. That was unfair.
Scherzer 15 of 19 outs. Punch outs.
A little haterish. 111 pitches.
Crazy. Well, he's something, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. Especially when he's pitching against somebody else. Starling Marte leads off. Yeah, he has that kind of an outing, and he'll have a no decision. The game tied.
The consistency that guy shows.
Yeah, you're right.
Each and every year.
ERA of 174 right now. Yeah. Yeah, they got a little talent on that club.
Yeah, they got some pitching.
Yeah, they do. Two balls, 1 strike to Starling Marte. Three runs, 3 hits for the Pirates. Nothing in 1 hit for the Brewers. Chase Anderson has retired the last 10. And a full count to the center fielder.
Pirates not afraid to show their emotions on calls they don't agree with.
Kind of noticed that about them the last few years, right?
Yeah, right.
They don't hide their feelings. Curve hit in the air, right field, and that is going to be a fair ball into the corner. Marte is going to try for 3, and he's going to get there with a triple.
Well, I guess he's glad now that they called that strike on a 3-1 count.
Yes, so.
Rather have a triple than a walk. And curveball, that's just a good piece of hitting. I mean, just sticks the bat out there, ends up just inside that right field line. And with his speed, he's into third base with no problem. Stayed right on that curveball in the 3-2 count.
It's a 4th triple, as you see there, for Starling Marte, and that's how the 6th inning begins here for the Pirates. And in a 3-0 game, the Brewers are going to pull the infield in as Josh Bell is at the plate. Big moment of this game. Brewers struggling at the plate, down 3 and trying to keep it that way.
Got forced to bring the infield in. Craig Counsell doesn't feel like he can fall behind anymore.
Bell popped to Arcia in the 3rd inning. And this is popped up. Arcia will call for it. This will be out number 1.
He wants to catch everything, does he not? Line to line.
He does.
I mean, that was essentially right at Sogard.
Right. He just says, I got a better angle. Let me drift rather than you going back. I got it.
Hey, yep. I'm shortstop. I can get that. It's my ball. He loved that about him.
Absolutely.
He wants it. He wants the baseball.
That sharp liner he laid out for last night to end the game. That was impressive. It is fun to watch out there at shortstop. Here's Corey Dickerson. Infield stays in. Chase got 1 big out. Jacob Barnes getting loose for the Brewers. Oh, 0-2 the count. Anderson retired 10 straight before Marte's triple to lead off the 6th. Got Josh Bell to pop up.
Yeah, that triple came on a pretty decent pitch. It might have been up a little bit, but it was off the corner.
Trying to get through Dickerson with Francisco Cervelli on deck. The 0-2. Mentioned Dickerson, a very hard hitter to strike out. Hader got him last night.
It was a long battle, too. He hung tough. Chokes up on that bat quite a bit with 2 strikes.
Hader with 4 strikeouts in 2 innings out of the bullpen last night.
And they got the win. Lone save and a win.
Won't bite on the changeup. Andy has to go down and get it. Yeah, 1 out of every 10 at bats. That's the frequency of Dickerson strikeouts. Only Nick Markakis of the Braves has been better than that. 1 in every dozen at bats for him. Marte, the runner at 3rd. 1-2 to Corey Dickerson. And this will make it a 4-0 game. A base hit to center field. Second RBI of the afternoon for Corey Dickerson.
Yeah, tried to come inside, left it out over the plate just a little bit. Had him 0-2. There's a cut fastball. Stayed down the middle.
That guy just flat out hits. Corey Dickerson, as Craig Counsell now will make a move. This will be a double switch that Counsell will call for as the Pirates now have a 4-0 lead. It was a tough start for Chase Anderson. Got on a bit of a roll, but the Pirates touch him up here in inning number 6. A leadoff triple from Marte. A run-scoring single from Corey Dickerson. And that will prompt a change here at Miller Park. Jacob Barnes getting loose, and he will make his way to the Miller Park mound. 1 out, 1 on here in the 6th inning with the Pirates leading the Crew 4-0. By Miller Lights, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota, let's go places. Pirates with a 4-0 lead. They pick up a run here in the 6th inning. 1 out, 1 on. The day has ended for Chase Anderson. Pirates with a couple of home runs in the game as well. Eric Sogard will move over from second base to short. Jonathan Villar, part of the double switch, coming in. He'll hit 9th and play second. Jacob Barnes now on the mound. He will face Francisco Cervelli. With Corey Dickerson, a runner at first.
Jacob Barnes, 15th appearance, 165 the earned run average. He snapped a string of 8 consecutive games that he did not allow a run. Gave up an earned run in a third of an inning. Gave up 3 hits against the Reds on Tuesday.
And Cervelli pops this one up, but Braun will run out of room. Starling Marte started this inning with a triple into the corner in right field. Josh Bell popped to short. Corey Dickerson a run-scoring single to center. Pirates got on the board right away this afternoon. Adam Frazier homering to lead off the game. Jordy Mercer a solo shot in the second. Here's a 1-strike pitch to right field, and that's cut off in the gap by Santana. Moving to third is Dickerson, and runners are at the corners with 1 out. So this hit parade continuing now for the Pirates.
Yeah, Jacob Barnes getting that cutter up in the strike zone. That's what he was doing, in Cincinnati. He's been so good. Last time out, the cutter just not cutting like he would like it. That one ends up right down the middle. Almost looked like Santana got a late break on that ball out there in the gap. Off the bat, thought he might have a chance to catch it.
Instead, it's hit number 6 for the Pirates, and now Colin Moran at the plate. And Jacob Barnes could dearly use a ground ball right now. It's a wave and a miss from Moran. There's 1 hit in the series. That was Friday night. Still hitting .271 with an on-base percentage of .355. Chase Anderson 5 1/3. 5 runs allowed. Barnes with a 2-0. That missed away. Tough day at the office here so far. Long way to go. 2 balls, 1 strike actually to count. 2-1. Dickerson is at third. Francisco Cervelli, the runner at first. Brewers have managed only 1 hit. Santana, the only Brewer to reach base. A single and a walk. Chad Poole has been effective. The 3-1. And it's off the glove of Barnes, and everybody's going to be safe as Dickerson scores, and it's a 5-0 ball game.
Well, if he picks it, it's probably a double play. If he lets it go, it's probably a double play. They had Sogard up the middle. If Barnes knocking it down, you see where Eric is. Maybe not. And he knocks it down, but no play on anybody, and another run in for the Pirates. 5-0 now. Still only 1 out.
Four hits in the inning for Pittsburgh. And now Jordy Mercer at the plate with his first homer of the year in the 2nd inning. Grounded to short in the 4th. The Pirates moving the line here in inning number 6. We can get that at the top of the zone at 96. The 1-0. Mentioned the Brewers have the Indians coming in on Tuesday. From here, the Pirates head to Chicago. Off day tomorrow, but a quick 2-gamer with the White Sox coming up.
Want to see the White Sox this year?
Yeah, early June. Little no-no watch going on with the White Sox today. James Shields has one going through 6 against the Twins. A couple of games where they flirted with it here today. A combined no-hitter on Friday night with the Dodgers over the San Diego Padres. Yankees had one going today and was broken up, and they're down a run in the 9th inning to the Cleveland Indians.
Seems like offense has been kind of hit or miss all around baseball this year so far.
It has. Weather certainly a part of it, I would think.
A lot of low-scoring games today.
2 balls, 1 strike. Barnes comes back to even the count. 5 runs on 7 hits for Pittsburgh. Cervelli at second, Colin Moran at first. Mercer continues the battle with Jacob Barnes. So the Pirates came in as a team with an average of 252. That's 3rd best in the National League, 3rd in runs per game. The Atlanta Braves hitting the ball well. Won 19 of their first 32 games. Their team average is well ahead of the rest at 274.
They had lead league in runs.
Ozzie Albies having the big start. 21-year-old for the Braves.
Did you see that coming?
I did not.
I don't think anybody did.
No.
Lead league in batting average, runs scored. Up there in homers.
And they are 19 and 13. Just 1 step ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies. Mets, after that great start that they had, have leveled off. Pretty nice catch there on the rebound. Foul ball. Full count to Mercer. Jacob Barnes on in relief of Chase Anderson. Here's the payoff. There's a liner to left that's going to drop in front of Yelich. Here comes Cervelli, and he's going to score, and it's 6-0 Pittsburgh. 5 hits in the inning, and now 4 in a row.
Well, long at bat, won by Jordy Mercer. Cut fastball down, but down the heart of the plate. Very sinking liner into left. Another run in. My Pirates really swinging it here in this inning.
All of this after Chase Anderson had retired 10 in a row. Marte got it all started here in the 6th inning with a triple to lead things off. Here's Chad Kuhl. Fly to right and a ground ball to first. Now looking to move the runners up. Three successful sac bunts for Kuhl this year. This is start number 7 for him. Count is even, a ball to strike. A triple and 4 singles here for the Pirates in the inning.
And all the hits hit pretty well. You know, that one that Moran hit off the glove of Barnes was hit pretty well. You know, the infield hit.
Kuhl pulled back and takes strike 2. Bit of a tough go for Jacob Barnes out of the bullpen right now.
Yeah, last couple outings.
Poole's trying to lay it down with 2 strikes. He does, and it's a tough play, and it's going to get through VR. Another runner's going to score as Moran comes around, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Pirates.
Yeah, good bunt. Yeah, really good bunt. It might be a base hit and an error. I don't even think a good throw is going to be able to get Poole. Kind of some backspin on it. Just kind of sticks in the grass right here. Wasn't going to go foul. And probably no advised throw by Barnes. He had it beat anyway. Hit and error. No RBI, but 7 runs in.
And that is exactly the ruling. Error to Jacob Barnes, and a 4-run 6th inning for the Pirates. And still just 1 out. The runners now at 2nd and 3rd. Top of the order in Adam Frazier. A little bit of unusual air here for the Brewers this season. They've been involved in so many close games. We're still just in the 6th. We'll see if the Milwaukee bats can come to life. But they have a lot of work to do. Infield in for the Brewers.
And the bullpen showing signs that you know, they're giving up some runs. We saw that yesterday. Of course, they couldn't continue on the pace that they were on for such a long time. 2 runs off of Hader yesterday. Now Jacob Barnes has given up a few.
Jorge Lopez warming up right now. This is his 2nd stint with the Brewers here in the early portion of the season. It's not even close, sailing way upstairs.
Trying to get Lopez ready as soon as he can, as fast as he can.
Frazier, the 8th man to hit for the Pirates in the inning. Barnes has yet to retire a man coming out of the pen. 1 out with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, you're right. It couldn't last forever. This run the bullpen was on, it was remarkable.
Yeah, it was remarkable. And you knew at some point they're going to start giving up some runs, but you were thinking it wasn't going to be in bunches. These guys have been throwing really well.
Here's the 3-1. In the air to left. Yelich battle the sun a little bit, and Mercer will hold. Finally, the 2nd out is recorded. You put your baseball expertise to the test by downloading Beat the Streak free for your smartphone or tablet. Pick a player to get a hit every day, and if you can build a streak of 57 games, you will take home a whopping $5.6 million. Beat the Streak.
That'd come in handy.
You think you could find something to do with 5.6?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do you need?
Give some away, you know, just kind of be nice.
Mike and I will have our hand out. We'll have both hands out. You know us, we have no pride. Here's Gregory Polanco.
Be glad to give you some.
Did you hear that, Mike? We've got a deal. Well, you might as well. You have everything now anyway. Right?
Yeah. What more can a guy need, right?
Exactly. Life's just one big party. One and 0 to Polanco. He has struck out twice. He has popped short. Pirates busted this one open with 4 runs in the inning. 2 more in scoring position. Blanco with a hit and a walk last night. Reached 3 times on Friday. A ball, a strike. There you go.
He's having a rough time with that high fastball today, Polanco.
He is the one Pirate not to reach here so far today. All throughout the order, they have inflicted some damage against Brewers pitching this afternoon. Barnes trying to put a stop to it. Here's the 1-2. Brewers have had some pretty impressive rallies this season. 9 come from behind wins, but a ton of work to do here this afternoon. 2-2 pitch. Trying to chase the high fastball there to end the inning, but 9 men come to the plate here for the Pirates. 4 of them score. 7-0 Pittsburgh.
Kenosha. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
I knew you'd get through it. I knew you'd get through it.
Patios.
Patios in Kenosha.
Yeah.
Rock's fighting through it.
Well-timed off day. I think baseball knew I was going to be under the weather. Gave me an off day tomorrow, and back at it on Tuesday against the Indians.
Yes, sir. Short homestand. We talked about it during the weekend. You know, a 3-city trip, home for 5, another 3-city trip, and some of the better teams, postseason type of clubs rolling into the schedule.
Next 5 series the Brewers have after this one. All teams that were in the postseason last year.
The Indians leading the Central. You've got Arizona and Colorado 1-2 in the West. Chet Bandy leading off for the Brewers.
With the Twins on the road, and then back at home you're going to face the Arizona Diamondbacks again.
It's one of those stretches of a schedule that you look at and go, okay, here you go, buckle up. And that winning road trip through Kansas City, Chicago, and Cincinnati. All were sweeps, 2 in the good side.
It's always a tester going to Colorado. That's a 4-game series.
Yeah, it is. It is. Bandy looks at strike 3 called, and yet another punch out. 7 of them now for Chad Kuhl.
Yeah, throwing the curveball this time, the spiked curveball. Haven't seen many of those today. Feeling pretty good out there.
Every time I see that, I think of Jimmy Nelson a few years ago when the first outing against the Pirates, he broke that out and had them buckled all night.
Yeah, had no idea he even had that pitch. Nobody did.
Right.
Started throwing that pitch, and we're up here thinking, what is that? I remember seeing it in spring training. Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that was a pretty good night's work. There's Jonathan VR, came in as a part of a double switch, top half of this inning. A homer and 9 RBIs. The home run came at Citi Field. It's good, bringing it at 95 is Chad Kuhl. Ninth spot of the order for VR. Lorenzo Cain waits on deck. Cool, his pitch count is in pretty good shape. I mentioned he's had a couple of 6-inning outings. A high for his pitch count was 102. That was a couple of starts ago against the Tigers.
Working at a real good pace. Hadn't had many base runners, too. That's it.
Yeah, Domingo Santana, 2nd inning single and a 5th inning walk. That is it. Until now. As VR looks cool for a walk.
That's one thing that will get the bullpen active. You start walking guys.
Lorenzo Cain. And a fly ball to right and a ground ball to second. Brewers trying to get something, anything going here against Chad Kuhl. They have had nothing that has resembled a threat so far today. Pirates last night exhausted their mound visits. Not something we have seen much of, if at all.
Right. Really hasn't been an issue, has it?
No, it has not.
I mean, but that's the point, though. It keeps guys from going out there all the time. So it's working.
Yep. Part of the pace of play, the initiatives there. We'll have a little trouble locating the strike zone now. 2-0 the count to Cain. The Pirates bullpen has had its struggles. It was very good on Friday night. Brewers got to it last night. Kuhl loads up with a 2-1 pitch. Poole has allowed just one hit through 5 1/3. Kane to right field. Plenty of room for Polanco for out number 2.
Yep, just in on his hands enough. Well, he's been good, no doubt about that. Check it out. Fastball in on him. Got it down on the trademark and kept it in the ballpark.
2 away with VR, the runner at first for Christian Yelich. Chad Kuhl some credit here. We mentioned he was vulnerable to giving up the home runs, 7 of them allowed. Quiet on that front here today.
And make no mistake, it's been a nice pitching performance.
Really has.
He looks good. He's throwing hard, throwing strikes. Broke out a curveball in this inning. We haven't seen before.
Yelich is center field. Marte has a tract, and that'll do it for the Brewers in the 6th. The walk is all they can come up with, and it's 7-0 Pirates as we move to the 7th. Tough day for the home team, but still fun at the ballpark this afternoon. Unfortunately, on the field, a lot of fun for the Pirates. Brett Phillips now in the game. He is in left field. And on the mound is Jorge Lopez.
Yeah, second time he's been with the team. He took the roster spot as Zach Davies is on the DL. Called up on Friday. 9 games, a .245 earned run average for Jorge Lopez.
That was a game where he came in and helped save the bullpen. That was one of those that was getting away and got away from the Brewers in a 10-4 Reds win. But those 3 innings were valuable. Brewers won the next 2 games of that series 2-0. Starling Marte will lead things off.
And this outing is going to be just as important. 7-0. You got 3 innings to get through. And Craig Counsell would probably like to see him get all 3. Unless the Brewers can get something going.
Yeah, with an off day tomorrow, and yeah, it could be some valuable work here ahead for Jorge Lopez. A ball, a strike to Marte, who led off the 6th inning with a triple, turned into a 4-run inning for the Pirates. And that foul ball went hard off of Jet Bandy. And he's going to need some attention.
Yep, right off the knee. Yeah, those hurt. They go away, though. Right off the knee, right off the top of the knee. And you feel like when that happens, you're never going to be able to walk again. But it wears off. He'll be all right. That's happened to me 100 times.
I was going to say, sounds like you have been there multiple times.
Man, he's all right now.
Yeah. You smile about it when you start to feel like, okay, this leg still works,
Yeah,
right?
it goes away.
Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire. Making sure Jet Bandy's good to go. Gave him a few extra seconds there. In the meantime, it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Marte. Good pitch. Breaking ball gets Marte for out number 1. Let's get some more news on the injury front as we check in with. I won't do that yet. We'll show this curveball.
And a good one. Yeah, down in the zone and right over the top of it.
Now, as promised, let's get a little more on the injury front. Zach Davies specifically. Let's check in with Sophia.
Yeah, Jorge Lopez took the spot of Zach Davies, who was scheduled to start today, but he was placed on the disabled list for the first time in his career with that right rotator cuff inflammation. I talked to Davies before the game today. He's been shut down the last few days, but did get back to work today, started with some plyometrics. He will start his throwing program tomorrow, so if he progresses as expected, he could start as soon as Friday in Denver.
All right, thank you much, Sophia. Josh Bell gets into one deep to right center and out of here on a line. Second of the year for Josh Bell, and that makes it an 8-0 lead for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, low fastball, pretty much down the middle. A line drive. Didn't take long to leave the ballpark. Four-seamer, check it out. Down the middle. And Josh Bell, that's his hot zone. Lefties like it down there. Look out.
So third homer of the afternoon for the Pirates. Frazier in the first, Mercer in the second, and now Bell in the seventh. Here's Corey Dickerson. Lands the curveball for strike one. Dickerson has been trouble. He was trouble on Friday night and more trouble today. Brewers kept them off the bases last night. Sophia updating us on Zach Davies' story out on MLB.com involving the former Brewer Tyler Thornburg, who was part of the trade for Travis Shaw. Thornburg's had some good rehab starts with the Red Sox AAA Pawtucket club. Didn't pitch last year.
Yeah.
There's a bouncer that's by Lopez, but Sogard is there. Tough play and in time for out number two.
And that's the thing with Thornburg. I mean, when he's healthy, I mean, he's good, but he has a very difficult time staying healthy, even as a Brewer.
Yeah, 3 straight good efforts for Thornburg. Had the procedure to deal with thoracic outlet syndrome, but yeah, Rock's right. I mean, you go back a couple of years ago, Thornburg, his ERA in the low 2s. Was outstanding.
Stuff. Yeah, had a long stretch of scoreless innings, and matter of fact, he had a long stretch of hitters without allowing a base hit or even a base runner.
That's right.
That's how good he was.
Here's Cervelli, a bouncer. Sogard there again. And that'll do it for the Pirates in the 7th inning. They pick up another run, though, and they now have an 8-0 lead. We will keep it here at Miller Park on a sun-splashed Sunday afternoon for God Bless America. Rough one for the Brew Crew here this afternoon. 8 runs to make up here. Chad Poole remains on the mound, and he has been awfully good here today. Our Badger Mutual Insurance plays of the game. It's the work of Cool. He has been bottling up the Brewers all afternoon.
2 over the minimum, 1 hit, a couple of walks, and he has really been on point with the fastball. He's broke out a curveball. The slider's been very good. You name it. It's been all about Chad Cool today. He has dominated this Brewers lineup.
Still just 91 pitches to get through the first 6 innings. Braun, Shaw, and Santana here in the 7th. Let me mention, the Rockies and how well they can hit. The game was in Pittsburgh, but that before today has been the most impressive start for Cool. Faced the Rockies at PNC Park on April 18th. 6 innings of 4-hit, 1-run ball. Only Domingo Santana has gotten a knock against him here this afternoon, and that was in the 2nd inning.
And had he not gotten that, this would be a very interesting 3 innings coming up, right?
It sure would. Had a couple of pitching staffs here today flirting with no-hitters. There's a liner out to right, or excuse me, to center, and Marte is there for out number 1. So the Yankees were flirting with it. Indians broke it up. James Shields was flirting with it with the White Sox today, but Eduardo Escobar with a 1-out single in the 7th breaks that up. A lot of good pitching going on.
Yeah. It's been the story the first, a couple of months, right? First month plus pitching. And Chad Poole getting a lot of outs in the air. He's only had 4 ground ball outs. Ground fly balls and strikeouts.
Fly balls really of the routine variety. Haven't seen much in the way of warning track flies. Travis Shaw is popped to short, grounded to first. And Cervelli takes that foul off his hand. And these catchers are getting beat up in the last inning or so.
Yeah. I actually have to adjust my accounting. It's 5 ground ball outs. You were right. When I asked you if you ever caught, you said you caught, 1 game and got hit by a foul tip and said that's enough.
Yeah, it was maybe 1 inning. It was like, what am I doing? It's kind of like know who you are and know who you're not.
Right. It's kind of like the football player, the guy that's, the middle of the wedge,
right?
Kickoff.
Exactly. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, would not. I'll say this, you get back there and you're subjected to the foul tips, but I'd much rather be behind some of these hitters than in front of them. Some of the ground balls that they hit, if you're an infielder.
Yeah, true.
With essentially no padding. So yeah, it's not all bad.
Just wasn't for me.
I found in cold weather it was the best spot to be. Always in the action, moving around. Really never felt the cold too much.
Out to left field, Corey Dickerson puts it away. Yeah, you're too busy, right?
But on the other flip side of that, when you get into the summer, when it gets about 110 down in Texas.
Now, we were talking about this the other night. He was at the plate presented by Wendy's. Domingo Santana's day. A single in the 2nd inning, walked in the 5th. I mean, you wouldn't even think about it. Now you don't see doubleheaders now, really. But you have caught both ends of a doubleheader before, right?
A number of occasions, yeah. 84 did it a few times when Jim Sundberg was hurt. One of those doubleheaders was in Texas, in Arlington.
Little triple-digit day.
Yeah.
Good for the weight reduction program, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe I should do that tonight. Maybe it'll be off day. Go down and catch a doubleheader in Arlington. Drop 7-8 pounds.
There you go. Two and one to Santana.
That was after one of those, you know, one-day lockout strike things, you know.
Right,
union
right.
And ownership, and went down there, and it was hot. No doubt it was hot.
Kind of miss those doubleheaders growing up. I'd go down and I'm sure as a player you don't miss them, but as a fan, that was a great day.
What was it? Doubleheaders on Sunday, Monday off. I think any player would take that trade.
Yeah, it's.
But
now with the gate and all of that.
Well, you had them on the schedule. There'd be doubleheaders scheduled at the beginning of the year, and you know we would always, my family, let's go to a doubleheader.
Oh, absolutely. We did that a lot growing up. I remember going to a doubleheader one year. It was probably early 70s. The first game took an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'm glad we're here for two. Here's the 3-2 to Santana.
Is that when you got that Johnny Bench ball?
It was probably right around that time. I don't know if it was that night.
You didn't get it signed either.
Did not get it signed.
We didn't see him.
Bitterly disappointed. Maybe one day.
Next time.
That's right. Santana looks at a called third strike, and Chad Kuhl is having a day. We are through 7 with the Pirates in command.
Started with Domingo Germán, 6 no-hit innings. Well, here comes Gleyber Torres, 2 on, 1 out in the 9th. There's a walk-off 3-run home run for the Yankees rookie in the 9th. It's now 15 of 16 wins for the Yankees, and at 21 years old and 144 days, he becomes the youngest Yankee since 1908 to hit a walk-off home run. What a way to introduce yourself to the Yankee fans, Gleyber Torres.
Another Yankees legend move over Aaron Judge, huh? How about that?
Yeah, when you start, you know, doing things, then they have to go back to 1908. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, when you have to dig that deep. Oh, by the way, the Yankees now have won 6 in a row and 15 out of 16. But everybody thought they had a chance to be pretty decent.
Yeah, right.
Colin Moran leading off in the 8th inning. Jorge Lopez getting his 2nd inning of work. Gave up a bomb to Josh Bell in the 7th.
Carlos Stanton starting to swing the bat. Knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, those 5 strikeout days can be swept under the rug.
Right.
It starts getting in a groove. See if Lopez can stay in there here and help try to save this bullpen. Chase Anderson went 5 1/3. Jacob Barnes struggled. A perfect world, Lopez can give Counsell 3 good innings. Off day tomorrow. Get yourself dusted off and ready for Tuesday. Speaking of dusted off, that's exactly what the Indians are going to be doing after their rough weekend in New York.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. Wade Miley, he was good in his Brewers debut against the Reds. He will square off with the AL Cy Young winner from 2017, Corey Kluber. Junior Guerra, Carlos Carrasco, the Wednesday afternoon matchup. Brewers Live gets a start at Tuesday night at 6 on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And Moran draws a leadoff walk here in the 8th.
Yeah, Kluber with 5 wins. Max Scherzer has 6 wins. He probably should have won today, but no decision for him.
What a 15 strikeout day for Scherzer. Here's Jordy Mercer. He's had a good afternoon. Pirates with 10 hits in the game. Mercer a solo homer and an RBI single in the 6th inning. Lopez drops a curve for strike 1. And that's going to get through as VR was shaded toward the bag, and a base hit for Mercer. And the first 2 Pirates are on here in the 8th inning.
Well, just hits it where it's pitched, and with the shift, they had VR way up the middle. And Mercer now with 3 hits.
Well, the day is done for Chad Kuhl now, as Max Moroff will come in to pinch hit. Brings back some not so pleasant memories for the Brewers and their fans. Some big hits in a series against the Brewers at PNC Park last season.
He had a walk-off.
His first appearance this weekend. Switch hitting Max Moroff. Walk to Moran, a single from Mercer in the 8th for the Pirates. His big league debut was right here at Miller Park, late July of 2016. Good fastball from Lopez. The 1 homer for Moroff came last Tuesday night. Lopez with a 1-2. Got him. Out number 1 here in the 8th inning.
Good job by Jorge Lopez with the breaking pitch, down and in. Moroff way over the top of it. Moroff now 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter.
1 away with 2 men on. Lopez now will face Adam Frazier. Solo homer and a walk today. Curveball is in. The kinds of numbers the Pirates were putting up, maybe a little more than average, but they were scoring runs in those first 3 road series that they had. averaged close to 6 runs a game through their first 9 away from PNC Park, and then had an 8-game road losing streak where they were less than 2 runs a game. So a little all or nothing.
Yeah. That's the way offense seems to be in baseball, right now, at least early in the year. Everybody complaining about, very streaky offense.
Home runs and strikeouts. And in the first month of the season, more strikeouts than hits across baseball. First month that has ever happened. The liner into right field, and Santana will play it on a hop. And the bases are loaded with 1 out.
He got it down on the end of the bat and froze Santana for a second. He played it on a hop, and now more trouble for the Brewers. The Pirates have been putting the pressure on the Brew Crew a lot today. A lot of base hits. 12 base hits.
They had 6 hits in that 4-run 6th inning. A triple and 5 singles. And here's Gregory Polanco. A walk from Moran, a single to right from Mercer, a single to right from Adam Frazier. Of all the Pirates, it has been a rough afternoon for Polanco. He has struck out 3 times. He has popped a short. Otherwise, everyone else 1 through 9, including Chad Kuhl, who reached on a bunt single. Everybody else has reached.
How about adding a double play ball to the line today?
That would be preferable right now. Villar's waiting for it. Get it started. 2 balls, no strikes. They have not had many games like this.
No, they have not. Every game seems to go down to the wire.
Brewers have 7 wins in their last at bat this season, including last night. There's a fly ball hit out into center field. Kane will call for it. That's out number 2, but tagging and scoring is Colin Moran, so a sacrifice fly for Polanco, and it's 9-0 Pittsburgh. Hey, we are officially entering tailgate season, and you can get started with a new tailgate ticket pack featuring 6 Friday game tickets plus 2 free parking passes, all for just $20 per person. Learn more at brewers.com/tailgate. Prime tailgating weather right now. Grill's going strong outside Miller Park this weekend.
We can crash one after the game. We can't do a lot of tailgating before the game.
That's true. No, we could once. I think we might need to do that. A post-game tailgate crash.
All right, maybe we should put one together.
Yeah. Just we'll walk out in the parking lot, invite ourselves somewhere. But I just tag along because they all know you. Rock, come on over. Bring the old guy with you. The gray-haired guy.
Now you know that's not true.
Oh, over here it is.
You know, they might not, if you said something to them, they'd recognize you. The radio voice.
That's that radio keeps you low profile.
Yeah, they don't know what you look like half the time, but
they tell me I have a face for radio.
Which could be a good thing.
Yeah, can be.
Drop a touchdown Wisconsin on them, everybody in the parking lot will be excited.
Except for the Marquette fans. Maybe not so much. Marte gets a piece. 1-2 the count. course, I know 2 or 3 Marquette fans who actually follow Wisconsin football. Sophia casually, I think, follows Wisconsin football. You know, basketball, it's a little more of a that fun in-state rivalry thing. And this mercifully gets me out of college basketball talk. With a ground ball back to the mound, and that'll do it for the Pirates as they increase the lead on a good day for the Pirates and a rugged one for the home team.
Milwaukee, bottom of the 8th and go, especially after yesterday's game finish. Exciting finish for Milwaukee yesterday to even up the series, but Chad Kuhl today, man.
I'll tell you what, right from the beginning, that first inning when they got 2 runs off Chase Anderson with a home run and a big double, I'll tell you what, Chad Kuhl's taken over. There must be a reason why he's 5-0 at Miller Park.
Yeah, and maybe going to 6-0 unless the Brewers can get some kind of rally going here. We've got Brewers Live postgame coming up after the ball game. Going to hear from Craig Counsell, get you set for the next series coming up against the Indians as well. All after the ball game, Matt.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. A 9-0 lead for the Pirates as Eric Sogard leads things off. Max Boroff, who pinch hit in the top half of this inning. He remains in the game at short, and Richard Rodriguez now on the mound for the Pirates.
Yeah, pretty good numbers for Rodriguez. 8th appearance for him. He's been scored upon just once in his first 7 appearances. Yeah, back on May 1st, he went 2 1/3.
And Sogard goes down swinging, out number 1. Has been that kind of day almost across the board. Only Domingo Santana has a base hit today. There's Brett Phillips in the 7th spot in the order, getting his first plate appearance of the day. Rodriguez made his big league debut last year with the Orioles, appeared in 5 games. The 1-1. Second stints with the big club for Brett Phillips. He's hitting pretty well with the Sky Sox. That's the question moving forward. Can he hit well at this level? He was hitting 288s with Colorado Springs over 21 games.
Playing every day makes a big difference.
It's back-to-back strikeouts for Rodriguez in the 8th.
Yeah, a lot of young players have a difficult time at this level, even veteran guys for that matter, when you're not getting consistent at-bats. Sporadic at-bats, and a lot of times you really have a difficult time getting any kind of timing.
Brett last year had a lot of run in the month of September and hit 308 in some big stage games for the Brewers. So that was easily the busiest month in the big leagues for Phillips last year. Here's Jet Bandy. Pirates pitchers now with 10 strikeouts. Chad Kuhl with 8 over 7 innings. 7 innings of 1-hit shutout ball.
And Brewers just can't figure him out. I mean, his career has not lost to the Brewers. He's looking to go 3-0 in the team, 6-0 against Milwaukee in his starts.
With a very good ERA along the way. It's not like I mean, today obviously he had great run support, but he hasn't necessarily needed it. There's the 1-2 to Bandy. Rodriguez in his 5 appearances last year. Baltimore got roughed up, vulnerable to giving up the home run. But much better this year and as good as it gets here in the 8th inning as he strikes out the side, getting Sogard, Phillips, and Bandy. Move to the 9th. Move to the 9th inning. Hernan Perez now in left field for the Brew Crew. And Brett Phillips moves over to center. And a lopsided game here at Miller Park. Taylor Williams now on in the 9th inning for Milwaukee.
Well, Williams pitched on Friday against the Pirates, gave up a run in an inning of work. Gave up a home run to David Freese.
That gave the Pirates a little bit of cushion en route to the 6-4 win that they had here on Friday. Brewers getting a 5-3 win last night.
Young man averaging nearly 14 strikeouts per 9 innings. 16 punchouts in 10 1/3.
Facing Josh Bell. Williams and Hayter will get their turn tomorrow in the beer brewing, the fierce competition. We had our shot on Thursday.
Ours is coming together.
Yep, it is.
Sitting in the vat, just ready to come together for us.
Oh yeah, it's going to be big.
Yeah,
it's going to be big.
They're going tomorrow.
They are. And there's a liner down the line and a foul ball.
They're not willing to tell us what they're actually brewing, what kind of beer that they want to do.
Being very, very coy about it, very discreet.
Yeah.
I thought we revealed a fair amount of information on Thursday about it.
I think they will too tomorrow.
They will.
We wish them luck.
Of course.
You're going to need it.
2-2 to Bell. That was a lot of fun. We thank the great folks over at Miller Coors for the tour and the tutorial on the making of what will be our award-winning lager.
Yeah, right. Buddy Jim Cantor setting all this up, and the brewmaster Troy over there at the Tech Center at Miller Coors. You know, he told me he was going to sit up all night just keeping an eye on our beer for us.
He's that kind of guy.
Yeah. We get to go over there in 3 weeks and taste.
It's a tough job. Someone's got to do it.
I figured out what I wanted to do when I get done broadcasting. There's a job that I heard about over there the other day. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Master taste tester.
Yep. That'd be a good gig.
That's a swing and a miss.
I thought, yeah, I was waiting for the foul tip. Nope, and Bell's just gonna
Josh Bell just give
call
up.
it a day.
Don't even bother running.
And we have one away here in the ninth.
Well, don't you love to see that? Swings and misses, goes off the glove, and Bell just stands there, walks to the dugout. Clint Hurdle's good for him.
Yeah.
You got to run, son.
Was at the Dodgers the other night. Was it Bellinger? Cody Bellinger hit one into Triples Alley in San Francisco, and maybe got a late break out of the box, but kind of cruised into second. And Dave Roberts saying, well, let's go find somebody who can get a triple.
Yeah, pulled him out of the game, but it wasn't the first time that Dave Roberts had a discussion with him.
Here's Corey Dickerson. He's driven in a couple of runs here today. And there's a liner over VR and a base hit. 13th hit of the day now for the Pirates.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get that guy out of town.
Yeah, it would.
Boy, he has been trouble for 3 games. Yeah, fastball down and in. Nice easy swing. It's a rope in the right.
Two singles, a double. He's driven in a pair. Corey Dickerson. Here's Elias Diaz.
But yeah, the big contest, the brew contest, that takes place July 20th here at the ballpark.
That's right. We are still in the midst of getting the short list of what we will name our lager.
Didn't realize there were so many restrictions on what you can call.
I know.
You know, a beer, right?
Yeah, we've had what we thought were some pretty good ideas, but apparently someone else beat us to those ideas. And here we thought we had an original thought. No.
It would be the first time.
That's right.
But yeah, you buy a special ticket package, right? You get to taste both the beers.
Yep.
You get a mug. And it's going to be fun. You get to vote on which one you like best.
I am very eager to sample our lager. I think, you know, great idea, little Can we say we add a little mango flavor in there?
Yeah, we got little, some flavors that was suggested to us.
But we believe that it will be a very tasty treat on a nice warm summer day, a hot summer day, a warm summer evening.
And very sessionable.
Very sessionable.
Which means?
That means you can, you can enjoy.
Drink a lot of them.
I was trying to find
Quit
the
beating
PC
around the
way.
bush.
I was trying to find the PC way. You can have a couple and not feel like you've gained 20 pounds. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Well done.
Sessionable.
We learned a new word over there.
We act like we know what we're doing. Two balls, two strikes to Elias Diaz. You can drink a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, that's what sessionable means.
That's it. It is.
I mean, why mess around?
See, I've lived in Madison too long, 30 years. I've tried, okay, what's the politically right way to put that? There's a called third strike. Second strikeout for Taylor Williams, out number 2.
Yeah, good pitch. He's got a good fastball. And here's one of them, catching Cervelli on the inside corner. Chase Anderson caught him on the inside corner. That's actually Diaz.
So 2 away for Colin Moran. Infield single, part of that 4-run 6th inning for the Pirates. That infield single scored a run. Pirates making good use of their 13 hits here this afternoon. First 2 games of this series, they were a combined 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. What's different story today? 5 for 11.
Yeah, 4 of those came in 1 inning.
This will be an interesting team to watch moving forward. Obviously, we'll see a lot of each other. This is just the first series of the year between these 2 ball clubs. A better than expected start.
Yeah, Brewers don't go to Pittsburgh until mid-June. Somewhat late.
Pirates return here, and to even look later than that. A couple of trips for the Brewers, 1 in June, 1 in July, right before the All-Star break. They'll be at PNC Park. 3 balls, 1 strike now to Moran. Pirates don't come back here until late August. Williams with the 3-1. Runners are at first and second. It's rough all over for the Brewers today. Chase Anderson struggled. Jacob Barnes did.
Yeah,
Jorge Lopez, a couple runs allowed.
Yeah, one of those days.
Right.
Every team has them.
Richard Rodriguez will hit for himself. This is his second big league at bat. Gets buzzed a little bit. 1-1 the count. Yeah, these kind of days we mentioned very few and far between. The Brewers 8-4 in 1-run games. They've been involved in 5 walk-offs. They've won 3 of them, including a couple of weeks ago at Miller Park. 7 wins in their last at bat. That included last night. Ryan Braun with the 2-run double in the 8th inning to break the tie. They have had a ton of exciting games. And a 20-win team right now. Here's the 2-1. Rodriguez struck out the side in the 8th inning. Bertle saying, keep going, young man. Here's the 2-2. Inning over. Well, he gave up a hit and a walk, but Taylor Williams strikes out 3 as we move to the bottom of the 9th at Miller Park. Miller Park. Let's check out our Powerball home run leaderboard. Eric Thames remains at the top with 7. Travis Shaw 1 step behind. Ryan Braun with 5. And Lorenzo Cain at number 4. Last week in Cincinnati, helping the Brewers to a series sweep of the Reds. Elias Diaz remains in the game. He is now behind the plate for Pittsburgh. Pirates closing in on a series win here in Milwaukee. Richard Rodriguez, who struck out the side in the 8th inning, will face Jonathan Villar to start the 9th. Villar, the only Brewer not named Domingo Santana to reach base here today. Santana a single and a walk, and Villar worked Chad Kuhl for a walk in the 6th inning. Kuhl just terrific today for the Pirates. 2-strike pitch, and that's 4 strikeouts now for Rodriguez. 1 away. Here's Hernan Perez. Came in late to handle things in left field. He's throwing darts right now, Rodriguez.
He's just all over that outside corner. You know, that glove side fastball on the edge.
Back up the middle off of Rodriguez and past a diving Moroff, and that's hit number 2 for the Brewers.
Yeah, breaking pitch. Perez able to stay back on it. Just out of the reach of Moroff.
First hit since the 2nd inning. Well, right now, Craig Counsell just trying to empty the bucket as he goes in to the bench again, and Jesus Aguilar. It's a pinch hit opportunity. He's in the lineup each of the first 2 games of this series. Strong batting average, couple of home runs. He has driven in 10. Perez running, but defensive indifference, so Perez gets second. Oh, and 1 the count to Aguilar. A .412 on base percentage for Jesus Aguilar. And quickly, it's 2 strikes and nothing. Chad Kuhl went the first 7. Rodriguez trying to finish the final 2. Ryan Braun waits on deck. The 1-2. Aguilar lays off.
See if the Brewers can't get that goose egg off the scoreboard here.
They've been blanked 6 times. As you know what the Cubs have been able to do to Brewers hitters, and did he hold? He did not. That is out number 2, and all the outs recorded by Rodriguez have been strikeouts.
He tried to hold up. Yeah, he went.
Well, the Brewers down to their final out. And here's Ryan Braun. Well, if you're looking to get a run across, he's your guy. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Braun this year is 7 out of 10. Really good pitching today, no doubt.
Yeah.
The Brewers trying to find the answer for more consistency at the plate. But Chad Kuhl was just flat out terrific. 0-1 to Braun. Perez, the runner at second. Rodriguez just not messing around. Down to the final strike. And the 0-2. A big moment for Braun last night. Was having a world of trouble making hard contact, and then George Contos hung one. Actually, a few in the at bat, but Braun took advantage of the last mistake and drove it for extra bases. He strikes out here as Richard Rodriguez All of his outs recorded via the punch out as the Pirates get the shutout and they win the series. A convincing effort this afternoon, 9-0 your final score. Regroup off day tomorrow, and then the Indians come to town on Tuesday night. We'll take a break. When we continue, Craig Kashawn ready to go with Brewers Live. Get you ready for that Indian series coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin.